Hi, everybody. I'm Jill Bollwerk.
And I'm Andy Pichler.
And we are the attorneys at Bollwerk and Associates in St. Louis, Missouri. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Counselors. What are we drinking out of this week, Andy?
So today we've got the people that do our website for us, Foster Web Marketing, provided us with some mugs.
Yeah, this is a cool story. So our web designers and the people that help us, shout out to John Spare, saw Coffee with the Counselors and thought it was so much fun that they talked to some of their clients and told them to send us coffee mugs. So on future episodes of Coffee with the Counselors, we're going to have some mugs from other firms across the country, which is kind of fun.
That will be
It's
cool.
a mug exchange.
Yeah.
Wasn't what we intended when we started this, but it's really cool that it went that direction and people enjoy the mini tiny little podcast or whatever you call this.
Yeah.
So today we are going to talk about part 3 of our series on different portions of your auto policy. And today we're going to talk about what, Andy?
Uninsured motorist coverage.
And tell the folks what that is.
So it's mandatory in Missouri. So if you have insurance, then you have uninsured motorist coverage. So basically, if you're injured by somebody that either takes off, a hit and run, or somebody that doesn't have liability insurance, then that uninsured motorist coverage that you have as part of your policy will kick in.
So it kind of takes the place of the person who didn't have insurance.
Correct. So your insurance company basically stands in the place of what the other person's insurance company would do.
Okay. And there's some things you probably need to know about with uninsured motorist coverage, and that's this. You have to read your policy, because when you have an accident with an uninsured motorist, your policy is going to tell you what you have to do to make that claim. Usually, it's going to require that you contact the police and get a police report. It's going to require that you provide them proof that the person doesn't have insurance. There's different ways to do that. I mean, you can get a letter from, let's say they produced a card at the scene of the accident from a certain company, but it turns out that it's an old card. If you can get a letter from that company saying we no longer insure this person, sometimes that's enough. Sometimes you have to go a step further and get actual proof that the person has no insurance. And in Missouri, there's this motor vehicle accident report that you can file with the state that allows you to have the state contact them to see if there's insurance. And if they don't answer, or if they answer there's no insurance, then that's proof. So it's really, really important when you have an accident with an uninsured motorist that you at least look at your policy, but probably should talk to a lawyer.
Yeah.
And the good thing about uninsured motorist coverage is that it can stack.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
Yeah, so if you have multiple cars under the same household, then whenever you get your uninsured motorist coverage to kick in, you could potentially stack the policies for however many vehicles you have under the household as well on top of that, in cases where you're severely injured and maybe that initial policy isn't enough.
Yeah, and now don't get us wrong. Usually policies are written so that they don't allow that stacking.
Right.
But because Missouri has mandatory coverage on every policy, it has to stack at least to the $25,000 minimum limit. So for instance, if you have 4 policies that have $100,000 on them, but of uninsured motorist coverage, but they all have what's called anti-stacking language, then that would mean the first policy would cover you for $100,000, and then the other 3 would cover for $25,000. Now, if there is no anti-stacking language, then you would get $100,000 each. It's rare to not see anti-stacking language, but sometimes it happens. So it's really important that when you have an accident with an uninsured motorist, if it's serious, you need to have a lawyer take a look at the policies. What else do we want to tell them about uninsured motorist coverage? Anything else exciting?
I don't know about exciting, but it is very important, which is why it's mandatory, and it certainly has helped a lot of our clients who, when they first called us, were nervous that they were just SOL because the person hit them and took off, or the person that hit them didn't have any coverage.
And, one thing we always hear is, people are angry. They're angry that they have to use their own insurance coverage to go after the person that hurt them. And that's understandable. But what you do need to know is that if you file one of those motor vehicle accident reports with the state, pretty good chance that person's license is going to get suspended. And also, most of the time, after your insurance company pays you, they then try to get their money back from the other person. Yeah. So a lot of times they'll sue for their money back from the other person. So the uninsured motorist doesn't really get away unscathed. Right. Of course, it would be better if they had insurance, but that's why you have uninsured motorist coverage, because not everybody purchases insurance. It's just a reality of life. So anyway, we hope that was informative. If you have an accident with an uninsured motorist, we do that all day, every day. We're happy to talk to you about it. If you have a lawyer, that's fantastic. You really do need to have a lawyer that knows their way around an insurance policy to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Well, I guess that's about it. What are we talking about next time, Andy?
Next time we're doing the cousin of uninsured motorist, underinsured motorist.
Oh, yes, they're cousins, and people get them confused because uninsured motorist is abbreviated as UM, and underinsured motorist is abbreviated as UIM. People get it confused all the time.
Yep.
So anyway, we look forward to seeing you next time. And if you want to send us a mug, we'll be happy to feature it on this little episodes or the next episode of Coffee with Counselors.
That's right.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Bye.